Hi, I'm Jason Hudson from Tenzig Technology, and in today's presentation, we'll show you how to set up Microsoft Teams to run in optimized mode inside the Windows 365 Cloud PC, where the audio and video are being redirected to the Client Endpoint instead of through the VDI. We'll make a Teams call running in standard non-optimized mode, then we'll optimize Teams inside the Virtual CloudPC and demonstrate a second call. During both calls, we'll take a look at what's happening on both the Tenzig 6010Q endpoint and the Cloud PC with regards to performance. We'll have a look at performance inside the Task Manager and explain where the video and audio are being redirected. Let's sign back into my Windows 365 Cloud PC as a test user, and I'll demonstrate a Teams call running in standard non-optimized mode and take a look at what's happening to the performance at both ends of the connection. First, we'll load Microsoft Teams so we can see that optimization is switched off before we make the call. Click on the three dots next to your profile icon, select About and Version. Note, there is no mention of optimization being used at the moment, but I'll show you how to switch it on a bit later. Let's start a non-optimized Teams call on the Cloud PC and take a look at some performance and quality statistics on both the Cloud PC and the Tenzig 6010Q. If I open the Task Manager on the Cloud PC, you'll notice that the CPU is consuming between 40% and 70% of the total CPU. And the bandwidth being consumed is between 1 and 2 megabits per second, indicating that the audio and video are being passed over the network through to the VDI. Let's minimize the Cloud PC session and open up Task Manager on my physical 6010Q. Notice that the CPU usage on the Tenzig device is using on average between 10 and 20% of the overall total CPU threads available. This isn't the actual total of all CPU available, but across all 4 cores, so averaging between 3 and 5% of each core, which is extremely low. Let's close the task managers on both Cloud PC and Tenzig device and end the Teams call. Now, I'll show you how to enable optimization and we'll demonstrate the differences in performance again. This time with the audio and video being redirected to and processed on the Tenzig 6010Q. To enable optimization, we need to open up the Registry editor. So inside the search box in the Start menu, if I type in regedit, press Enter, and answer yes to the Allow Changes question, I'm presented with the editor console. I need to navigate to the registry key, H-key local machine, software, Microsoft, Teams. Inside this key, you'll see a value named isWVD environment. Notice that its data is set to 0, which makes sense as it basically means that optimization is switched off. I'm going to double click into it and then change this value to 1 and click OK to save my changes. Just make sure that the value data now reads 1, and if so, just close the registry editor. Now, we also need to make sure that we have the remote desktop WebRTC redirector service installed and running on the Cloud PC to take advantage of Teams optimization inside the Cloud PC desktop. If I type in appwiz.cpl in the search box and press Enter, then you should see the remote desktop WebRTC redirector service installed and the version number on the right. My Cloud PC is running the latest 21.11 release, but if you don't see it installed here or need to update to the latest version, which is recommended by Microsoft by the way, then head over to the URL listed on the screen. Just scroll down and you should find a link to download the installer there. Before we start the next call, we need to quit Teams from the hidden icons section in the taskbar. You need to do this because Teams has to reload the registry entries in order to enable optimization. Now we've done that, let's open Teams again and check that we're running optimized. Go back and click the three dots again, select About and Version. Notice that we now have the AVD Media Optimized note in the version tray, so we know we're going to be redirecting our audio and video directly to the Tenzig 6010Q. Let's start the second call and take a look at some performance and quality statistics, now that we're running in optimized mode. Inside the Task Manager on the CloudPC again, you'll notice that the CPU is consuming between 5 and 10% of the total CPU. And the bandwidth being consumed is no greater than around 400 kilobits per second, which is now almost 3 to 5 times less than before. Let's minimize the CloudPC session and open up Task Manager on my physical 6010Q. Notice that the CPU usage on the Tenzig device is using between 30 and 80% of the overall total CPU threads available. This isn't the actual total of all CPU available, but across all 4 cores, so averaging between 10 and 20% of each core, and shows that this device is more than capable of handling any of these call scenarios. Let's close the task managers on both CloudPC and Tenzig device and hang up the Teams call again. This concludes today's demonstration, where we showed you how to set up Microsoft Teams to run in optimized mode on a Windows 365 Cloud PC, where the audio and video is being redirected to the client endpoint instead of through the VDI. I hope you enjoyed the session, and remember, if you have any questions regarding this or related topics, then please contact your Tenzig team or visit the website at www.tenzig.com.